Hey. Okay, people are starting to come in here. I know you guys want DML, but he's got a lot of stuff going on, so I've got to fill in for him. And the audience is building here. Hey, good morning, Houston. I'm here in New York. It's overcast, but it's warm, so I'll take it. Now we're over 1,000, so let's get going. First is, I think we got some good news for you guys. It turns out that, overnight, while you guys were sleeping, the Senate voted to begin the process of rolling back Obamacare. So, President-elect Trump's fallen through on his promise, and I think Senate Republicans and even some Senate Democrats are falling in line to do it too. There are a couple of Democratic senators that are absolutely on board to properly replace Obamacare, because they know it's failing and it's led to higher costs and worse outcomes. So look, there's still a lot of good Democrats. I'm a Democrat, there's still a lot of good people. We're Americans first, and we want to solve these problems. I'm gonna try not to get run over by welcome to New York. And these guys never mind. I don't think they actually have driver's licenses, because I've never seen such bad driving as in a New York taxi. So anyways, that was good news. I mean, mostly the vote came down party lines, so Democrat, Republican. But I think the biggest question now is what is Trump going to replace Obamacare with? It seems like I was reading something from Anthony Scaramucci, who is a close advisor to Trump and has become a acquaintance of mine from doing TV. And they're going to focus on market-based solutions. So like getting costs lower, just getting more people insured so that the overall costs come down without actually forcing people to buy anything that they don't want. And removing the lines around states so that you can buy cross-party. We talked about this on the other day's walk and talk, and there's a lot about it. So let's just keep moving here. There's another thing that really kind of irked me. Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey, he stood up to question, or actually to take questions on Sessions' nomination to be the next Attorney General. And what I thought was really amazing is how absolutely two-faced Cory Booker was. There are many clips, and the Trump team put this out, of Cory Booker just talking about how great Sessions is, what a stand-up guy he is, that he's been an advocate for the little guy, that he has, a 30-year track record of doing the right thing. And then when Cory Booker sensed a political opportunity, a calculated political opportunity to just take advantage of it at Sessions' expense, he did. And so he sat there on the hill, and he trashed the guy. He basically called him everything under the sun to allude to the fact that Cory thinks that he's a racist, that he's disadvantaged people of color, that he's disadvantaged the little guy. And we know that Cory doesn't really think this. We know that Cory Booker doesn't think this. The reason that he's saying this is because he wants to be a Democratic martyr. He wants to, be the guy, the face of the Democratic Party moving forward. So remember this. Remember that I said this. In January of 2017, this guy's running for president. He's going to challenge Donald Trump. He's probably one of the most two-faced, disingenuous politicians that could run for office, which is probably pretty good for Trump. But this is the guy that was tweeting, he would tweet, oh, this house is on fire, I'm going to run in there and save somebody. He tweets it out before he even goes in there. I mean, this guy, he's not really interested in doing the right thing. He's not really interested in being an advocate for the little guy or saving people's lives when he was mayor of Newark. He's interested in the attention that he gets from it. And so I know Trump has a big ego, but this guy, Cory Booker, he has an ego that is just purely out of control. Just out of control. Go read his Twitter. It's all about how great he is. and he was a terrible terrible mayor of Newark. He hasn't done anything in the U.S. Senate so far. This guy's got no experience. What the hell? I mean, I guess that qualifies you to be the president of the United States, as evidenced by Barack Obama, somebody that, you know, had far less executive experience than Donald Trump did. People say this all the time. They're like, oh, Donald Trump has no experience, you know, being a politician. He's got no experience, you know, running for office. So what? So what? He's employed literally tens of thousands of Americans for decades. He's created tens of thousands of jobs. He manages a team with tens of thousands of people. He has far more executive experience. He knows what it's like to make payroll. And for any small business owners out there, you know what I'm talking about. You know the stress that comes around with putting your employees first, which is what people in business do. And you know, there are tens of thousands of families that owe the I got that guy was looking at me. Have to watch my back here in New York. There are tens of thousands of families that, you know, he puts the food on the table for them. He puts a roof over their head. This is a guy that he understands the struggle. He understands the responsibility. Somebody like Cory Booker or Barack Obama, they haven't done that. I think a prerequisite for running for office, if you want to be the leader of the free world, you should have had a small business. You should have run a company. You should have had employees. You should have had experience managing a team, managing a staff. The largest team that Barack Obama ever managed before becoming president of the United States was his Senate office. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Is that like 20 people? He went from managing a team of 20 people to a team of, 1.5 million? There are like 1.5 million people employed by the U.S. government directly. You know, it's a joke. It's a joke. Anyway, I just mark my words. Cory Booker is running for president. Him stabbing Sessions in the back, a fellow senator, which is unprecedented. It's nearly unprecedented in Senate history. Was unbelievable. He's cold. He's calculated. He wants you to think he's warm and fuzzy, but he's not. Oh my God, we got like a screaming homeless person up ahead. So yeah. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna keep moving here. This is I know DML wants me to interview some homeless people that have been impacted by bad government programs. I don't think she's able to string words together. Probably drugs or something. Just screaming. That is a pretty good example of like the breakdown of government. You know, we spend literally millions. Cities across this country spend millions trying to rehabilitate, get homeless people back on their feet. And as you know, people as a nation that subscribes to Judeo-Christian beliefs, we should want to help these people. What's clear to me at this point is that just throwing money at this, just throwing money at programs, doesn't do it. It's not doing it. It doesn't, you know, people just fall back into these cycles of dependency and they're not able to break free. And I don't think we should turn our back on these people. I mean, they need our help. I got more here. So anyway, so let's keep moving past Cory Booker. The next one that I saw, which is outrageous, and it shouldn't surprise anybody because she's such an obnoxious person, is Rosie O'Donnell. She said that Barack Obama should institute martial law, okay? He should institute martial law, which would mean that, you know, a lot of laws would be suspended. You know, theoretically, you know, your freedom of movement across the country could be restricted. Your ability to be out after hours could be restricted. And that he should do that to take control of the situation. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This is an article. You can go look it up. There are tons of them. This slob is saying that the United States Constitution should be suspended in order to stop the inauguration of Donald Trump. So she wants the military deployed on the streets so that Barack Obama can remain the president of the United States, the unelected at that point president of the United States, until, quote unquote, we can determine if Donald Trump is free of any of these crimes, whatever those crimes are. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. She's not an intellectual giant. She's pretty stupid, obviously. It's dangerous. I mean, but thank God she's not in a position of power. I don't think anybody actually listens to her. She's not on the View. Is she? I don't know. Is she on the View anymore? I don't watch that. But I hope people aren't listening to her, because that is so stupid, and it would be unprecedented for us to suspend our Constitution to keep, our dear leader Barack Obama in power. But that's what Rosie wants, and I would believe, if you keep track of the hysteria that has come from a lot of people on the left, I believe that many of them want that. I mean, I think they would rather give up our freedoms, the peaceful transition of power, and our Constitution in order to defeat Trump. That's what we're up against. We got good timing here, by the way, guys. It's starting to rain on me, but that's okay. I'm with you, so I'm going to power through it. Anyway, Rosie O'Donnell, total joke. This next story blew my mind. I saw it in the Daily Mail out of the UK. And DML and I were talking about it yesterday. Oftentimes, the only way you can get real, true, unbiased reporting, outside of obviously yours truly and DML and our team, is to go abroad, to look at what international papers are saying, because they often don't have the political bent that something, one of our domestic papers might. So the Daily Mail put out this really interesting piece about Trump setting up a sting for the international community. And what he realized, the intel community. What he realized was happening was he noticed that there were a lot of leaks, either coming out of his team or coming out of the intel community about different security briefings that he was getting or not getting. And what he couldn't figure out is it somebody in his team, or is it somebody in the intel community or in government or in the White House? And so what he did is he personally scheduled a meeting. He didn't let his longtime aides know that this was happening. It was totally in secret. And so that he could eliminate his team from possibility by knowing anything about this meeting. And what came out is that the intel community started leaking information, or someone related to the intel community started leaking information about a briefing that they had. And so he caught them red-handed. So this coupled with the fact that, we know that this quote-unquote dossier, which is nothing, that's just a document. I don't know why the media keeps using the word dossier. I think it's because they figure, if we use like a really foreign-sounding word, people will just believe it. They're like, this is something special. This must be like vetted or something. It's not. It's just literally a document. And so that leaked out, and we all know that that's ridiculous. Between 4chan and Reddit, we know that a lot of fan fiction was written along these same lines. It looks like our intelligence community took that as canon, or somebody passed it to them as fact. We know John McCain played a role in that, and that he somehow got a hold of one of these fan fiction accounts and passed it on to the FBI to investigate. I don't know what John McCain's doing passing along intelligence to our intelligence community if we're not sourcing it independent of U.S. senators, that are pretty senior. I don't know that he's totally with it, to be honest with you. I know he's a war hero and I don't want to disparage him, but I don't know that he's totally with it. I don't know why he is our source for something, for such a grave accusation as our president-elect has been compromised by the Russians, but apparently he was. So the point of Trump bringing this up is that he thinks that the intelligence community is out to get him, that they feel like they're threatened by him, that he's going to disrupt business as usual, and it's probably true. I think that what's at play is that the intelligence community has had a lot of power independent of the executive branch and Congress for a long time. They basically have had a blank check to do whatever they need to do. And so they are they're threatened because Donald Trump threatens to disrupt this new order in government, where they're not going to have power and they're going to be accountable to him because it's no BS with him. You're not going to play him. You're not going to lie to him. You're not going to spin facts and reality to suit the narrative. narrative that the intelligence community wants. I know that there are the vast majority of people in the intel community in this nation are patriots, no question. But I think that there's probably, based on the evidence, some leadership that had their own agenda. So yeah, so I think they're threatened by him, and I think that that's why they leaked this dossier. I think that that's why they leaked information about the scheduling of these events. And let's move on from it because it really just depresses me. The next thing that came up is part of the conference yesterday. We had CNN and BuzzFeed basically I think Donald Trump put his foot so far up behind the rear ends of BuzzFeed and CNN, they may not show up to work today. It was brutal. When CNN's reporter Acosta wanted to ask a question, Donald Trump said, nah, you're fake news. And that was one of the best moments I can remember in recent press conference history from a president-elect or anybody. For him to just take the gloves off and just shoot straight, that is what people wanted. That reminds me of the time, I think it was in the third debate, when Donald Trump said to Hillary Clinton, if he were president, she'd be in jail. And I still think that he's actively considering that, by the way. I think he's playing it safe right now because he doesn't want Barack Obama to pardon her before he leaves office. So Donald Trump's playing a little bit of three-dimensional chess. They just don't realize it yet. So getting back to CNN and BuzzFeed, it's so clear. They literally say, BuzzFeed's editor, Ben Smith, literally says in his email to staff, we're not able to confirm whether this is true or not. We don't know that this is real, but we feel like the American people should know. Well, that's ridiculous. I put up on Twitter last night, I invented my own dossier of allegations against Hillary Clinton. And I was tweeting at Ben Smith, hey, you guys should report this. I hear that this dossier is official. It looks right. So far, no response. The thing got like thousands and thousands of retweets. So I'm sure he saw it, but it's just ridiculous. I did that, and it was a little bit aggressive, but I did it to expose to him or to show to him how outrageous a claim it is to make. To say that just because you have this unconfirmed accusation, you should report it. No, that's not how journalism works. If you think there is a story, you chase it down and you confirm it. And this isn't something that came up within the last couple of weeks. No. They've had these documents, this dossier, for months. They've had months to confirm whether this is a fake document or an authentic document, and they still haven't been able to do it. So if over the course of months, you have not been able to confirm whether a story is accurate, why at this point, now 8 days, but it was 9 days before the inauguration, would you drop this bomb on the president-elect to discredit him? It's disgusting. It's disgusting, very transparent politics. And they're not interested in covering the news. They're not interested in telling you the truth. They have an agenda. I said it the other day. I said it on another walk and talk. We don't have journalists anymore in this country. We have political activists. And chief among them, in my opinion, is this hack job, piece of trash website, BuzzFeed. If you go on there, 99% of that website is total and complete garbage. Garbage. It's a listicles. It's like, questionnaires. You take a survey, like, what character from Friends am I? What character from Breaking Bad am I? It's like, so stupid. It's so stupid. And so this is the new media. This is who's supposed to be holding our elected leaders accountable. People that write listicles. BuzzFeed's a joke. BuzzFeed's a joke. If BuzzFeed's the future of new media, this country is done. So, anyway, I don't think they're the future of new media. I think that we're a part of it, and I think we've got a pretty good game plan to tackle it. As you guys probably saw last night, Dennis and I were out and about here in New York with his daughter. She's great. We all had a lot of fun, actually. It was a good time. We went over the city. We saw 28 different office locations, and I think that we found a few that are really, really nice. And so we're doing some due diligence, and we're following up, and we'll see how it goes. But I can't wait to show progress with that. I know you guys saw one picture of Dennis and I in one of the spaces. So there's a lot to come on that. It's exciting. And if you guys didn't get to see it, we did like a walk-in talk type thing, but it was more like we were sitting and eating and talking at a steakhouse in the New York Times building. You guys have to watch it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's one of my favorite videos with Dennis in a while. So that was good. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to go download the Android app, play.google.com. Also, I just got the iOS app, which is fantastic. It's fantastic. I get all the latest push notifications when there's a story or if there's a walk and talk. Now you've got full screen videos in the Android app for the walk and talk. It's great. It's great. Dennis will be back tomorrow. He's busy with some company related stuff. We're growing. It's hard every day for somebody as integral to the company as he is to be available every day at 11:40. So he had to take care of some stuff today, and I know he'll be back tomorrow. Can't wait to be with you guys. So with that, thank you so much. Love you guys, and we'll see you